I found out that my girlfriend is opening her legs to our neighbor she hates. Now her perfect life has turned into a nightmare because he gave her a disease. Plus all updates. My girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. A little over 6 months ago, we had to find a new place to live rather quickly. Thankfully, we found a great place in the city, a little expensive, but we made it work. A week into living here, my girlfriend met one of our neighbors, Jenna, who lives almost directly across the hall. Jenna lives there with her boyfriend, and they're roughly our age, maybe a couple of years older. By the end of December, my girlfriend and Jenna became pretty well acquainted. I don't know if I'd say friends because they never hung out outside of them, inviting us to dinner and vice versa, but I think my girlfriend and Jenna texted now and then. Jenna is nice enough, but her boyfriend Sam is a female king's hole. He's arrogant and entitled, and I do not like him. My girlfriend initially didn't like him but eventually seemed to warm up to him. Eventually, we learned that the two of them had an open relationship. I've never understood the concept of an open relationship, but it's not my business, so I don't care. What bothers me is that I've caught Sam straight up checking out my girlfriend, and I've noticed Jenna noticing it too, and being uncomfortable with it. I didn't think my girlfriend had noticed it first. About 2 months ago, when my girlfriend and I were coming home from dinner with a friend, we heard them screaming at one another inside their apartment. My girlfriend wanted to knock and see if things were okay. I wanted to leave it alone, so we knocked. Sam answered and said it wasn't the best time, and Jenna pushed past him and left with a suitcase. He called after her, but she told him to go FCK himself, and that was it. 2 weeks later, we didn't hear a thing from either of them. My girlfriend texted Jenna asking if she was okay and got no response. This next bit I only know because my girlfriend told me. She caught Sam as he was leaving and she was coming home from work, and she asked him if things were okay. He confirmed they had broken up and that Jenna had moved out completely. The next day, while I was at work, my girlfriend went to his place to see how he was doing, and he explained to her what happened. Apparently, he cheated, and Jenna broke up with him. I feel like there's more to the story, but I don't know if that's all Sam told my girlfriend or if that's all she told me. Ever since, my girlfriend and Sam have been texting almost every day if not every other day. I told her I was slightly uncomfortable with how close they'd gotten. She said she feels bad because he doesn't have anyone now. I told her it was his fault for being a cheater, and it bothered me that she had sympathy for him. She agreed to dial it back but said she wouldn't ignore him completely. Then I asked 2 really stupid questions. The first was if she was attracted to Sam. I expected her to say no honestly because she's always told me I'm exactly her type, looks and personality, and he and I are completely different. She said that's not a fair question. When I asked why, she said she should be allowed to find other men attractive without it being an issue and said surely I'm attracted to other women. I agreed, but I said it's different when it's a guy who's been IFing her at every opportunity. I took her silence after that as a yes. I also took it to mean she did notice him checking her out. The second stupid question was if she had the opportunity to sleep with him guilt-free, would she? She again said I'm being unfair because if she says yes, then I'll be pissed even though she'd have permission to do it. My response was, so that's a yes. We were quiet for a while after that until someone texted her. She looked at the message and then looked away, and I asked who it was. She didn't answer me, and I got visibly upset. I started walking to our bedroom and grabbed a bag to pack some clothing. She followed me and said they were just friends. I asked if she would be willing to show me her phone. She hesitated but said yes, but the hesitation was enough for me. I grabbed my bag and laptop and told her I just needed to get away from there and clear my head. She asked what that meant, and I said I had to think about some things and leave. So here I am. Sitting in a hotel room, wondering what the female CK is happening in my relationship and wondering if I screwed things up, if she did, or if we both did. Update, I was able to reach out to Jenna. She confirmed she and Sam had an open relationship but it was one-sided, which she said worked for the longest time until it didn't. She said she told Sam that my girlfriend was off limits after the first time we were invited for dinner. Then she confirmed she came home and caught them kissing. She also said it's not the first time he's broken the rules. She apologized for not telling me sooner but said she wanted to put him behind her. She also asked me not to contact her again. I called my sister afterward and we talked about me coming home for a while to clear my head. I said it depends entirely on what I find when I get home. I might have been able to forgive a kiss. When I got home last night our apartment was empty. It surprised me how not surprised I was that she wasn't there. I put my things down, took a deep breath, and went to his apartment. When he answered, I pushed on the door to open it wider, and my attention immediately went to her. I asked her if we could talk alone. When she didn't move and looked towards him, I said female CK it and pushed past him into his apartment. He sarcastically told me to come in and close the door. I told him I knew about the kiss, and she looked surprised, but he didn't. He said you talked to Jenna then and I said yeah, she told me everything. He said he doubted that. I said I know he's cheated on Jenna before and he admitted that he's broken the rules of their relationship before but said Jenna isn't a saint either. He said their relationship was incredibly toxic on both sides, and I said she seemed like a good person to me. He said I don't know her, they were together for 7 years and he knows her better than anyone. I said I didn't believe him. My girlfriend told me that Jenna sent her nasty messages when she texted her, asking if she was okay and trying to apologize. I shrugged and said, so? She had every right to be angry. Sam immediately jumped to her defense and said, at me. Paige didn't know the rules of our relationship so for all she knew, that kiss was within them. It was quiet for about a minute, and then I asked my girlfriend how long it took after I left for her to come knocking on his door. She told me I left her in relationship limbo and didn't know if I was even coming back. Which didn't answer my question, but I dropped it because I was never going to get an honest answer. I didn't need to ask if they slept together because she was wearing her underwear and a t-shirt, and he only wore sweatpants. I went to leave and told her I was moving back home, and I'd be emailing our landlord and telling him I wanted out of the lease and that she'll be taking it over completely. She said she couldn't afford that. I told her I didn't care. Then I left. I called my sister, and she's making arrangements to get me, but she's 9 hours away and won't be able to make it until tomorrow or Tuesday. It gives me time to pack my things at least. I'm not exactly loving that I'll stay here for a day or two. Unfortunately, I can't turn off my feelings for her, and knowing she's across the hall getting effed by another man isn't awesome, but I can't afford the hotel again. I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I went from anger to sadness, to anger again, and now I just feel numb. So that's it. Again, I'm wondering how we got here. Our relationship wasn't perfect and we had our issues, but I never thought we'd end up here. Update: it's been a rough couple of weeks since I left our apartment. I moved back home to my sister's place and started trying to piece my life together. I blocked my ex-girlfriend's number and avoided any news about her. I needed the space to heal and figure out my next steps. Then, a few days ago, out of the blue, my phone rang. It was an unknown number, but I answered it anyway. To my surprise, it was her. She was crying and begged me to hear her out. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet up at a coffee shop. When I saw her, she looked distraught. She explained that after I left, she continued seeing Sam. However, a few days later, she discovered he had started seeing another woman. He didn't even have the decency to tell her directly. She found out when she saw them together in the hallway, him with his arm around another girl. She confronted him, and he coldly told her that he needed the freedom to see other people and that their relationship was never meant to be exclusive. She was heartbroken, and that's when she realized the full extent of her mistakes. She apologized profusely for everything she had done to me, for the lies, and for betraying our relationship. She admitted she had been selfish and allowed herself to get caught up in something she should never have been a part of. Then she dropped the bombshell. She told me she had gone to the doctor for a routine checkup and discovered she had contracted an STD. She was devastated and scared, making her see how reckless and thoughtless her actions had been. I sat there, trying to process everything. She asked for my forgiveness and said she wanted to make things right and rebuild what we had lost. She promised she would do whatever it took to regain my trust. While I appreciated her apology and willingness to make amends, I explained that too much had happened. The betrayal was too deep, and the trust had been shattered beyond repair. I wished her well and hoped she would find a way to heal and learn from her mistakes, but I couldn't see a future for us together anymore. It was a difficult conversation, and it hurt to see her break down in tears, but I knew it was the right decision.